Hey there. Welcome to the American Defense Manufacturing Introduction to 3-Gun video series. All right, this is going to be a 12-week video series to help you, the shooter, get involved in the sport of 3-gun. Maybe you've already been shooting 3-gun for a little while or for a long time. Whatever the case may be, we are hoping to present some information that will help you continue shooting, improve your shooting, become more proficient, and get more involved in the sport. So, several of these are going to be tailored specifically to the newer shooter to help you get involved, help you know where to start, what to expect, what is 3-gun, whatever the case may be. The first couple videos are going to be for you. After that, when we get into a breakdown of rifles, shotguns, pistols, live fire, dry fire drills, how to break down a stage and shoot to your strengths, we're going to have a video on what's in your range bag, what you have, what you need, and what you won't. So there's going to be a lot in there for everybody. So be sure to tune in each week over the next 12 weeks. Be sure to check out Tar Heel 3-Gun on Facebook and social media. We've got a post of the weekly schedule for the video series and everything as well. We'll be posting these to our YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe there. All right, so what is 3-gun? 3-gun is an action shooting sport that involves rifle, pistol, and shotgun in order to complete a course of fire. All right, that's at the very basic level. That's what 3-gun is. We're going to get a little bit more involved in that as we move through, but essentially you use 3 firearms, rifle, pistol, and shotgun, to complete a course of fire. A course of fire is an array of targets that are laid out before you that you have to shoot in a certain amount of time. It could be 20 seconds, it could be 240 seconds, depending on where you're at, what size match you're at, and what you're shooting. All right, what type of match. So that's the very basic of what 3-gun is. It's an action shooting sport utilizing 3 guns: rifle, pistol, shotgun. All right, so one thing when you're getting started, and I don't care what shooting sport you are, what range you're at, this is going to be universal. Safety. Safety is number one. We all want to go out, have a good time. We all want to shoot fast. We all want to shoot well, but safety is of the utmost importance. All right, so a couple things when you get to the range. First, every range you go to, it doesn't matter where it's at, every range is going to be a cold range. And what that means is that all your guns are unloaded, no magazines inserted, nothing in the chamber. All right, so when it's your turn to shoot, you'll go up to the line. The range officer, the RO, will say, "Shooter, make ready." You'll have your guns with you. You pull out your pistol, load the mag, chamber around, load your mag into your rifle, chamber around, load your shotgun, chamber around, right? You'll do that there in front of the range officer. The timer will go off. You'll shoot your course of fire. The range officer will tell you to show clear. You'll drop the magazine, rack a round out, show him that the chamber is empty, put your chamber flag back in, drop the bolt onto it, and then that weapon's safe. And you'll do that for each one of your rifles, each one of your firearms. Rifle, pistol, shotgun. Pistol you'll reholster, the other 2 you'll put onto your cart, into your bag, back into the back of your vehicle, whatever the case may be. You'll move with them up and down range, meaning straight up and down, or in a cart pointed at a 45-degree angle. All right, so cold range, no matter where you go, don't go into the range or come up to the starting line and your firearms are already loaded. Here's the thing, if you have any questions, ask. Everybody's more than willing to answer any questions to help make sure that you have a safe, fun time and that everybody else has a safe and fun time as well. Another thing on the safety, all right, so when we shoot, we usually have a 180-degree safety line. What that means is something like this, all the rounds go down range, 180 degrees is going to run straight across. If the muzzle of your firearm breaks that 180 degrees, moving back towards other competitors, the range officer or something like that, you're going to be disqualified. So you always want to keep your firearm pointed down range, finger off the trigger. All right, unless you're actively shooting, your finger will never be on the trigger. When you're moving from position to position or in between shots or whatever, and you bring that rifle or that shotgun down or that pistol moves down, your finger comes off the trigger. You'll hear the RO say, "Finger, finger." Get your finger off the trigger, whatever the case may be. They're letting you know that they see that finger on the trigger and that you're doing an unsafe action. If they call you for that more than once or twice, they're going to disqualify you from the match because it's a safety issue. All right, that means you go home for the day, you learn, you improve, you grow, you come back and shoot the next time and don't repeat the same mistake. All right, so safety is a big thing. It doesn't matter who you are. That's going to be on every range you go to. Those are three things that you can count on. So the next thing, range etiquette. So a couple things when it comes to the shooting sports, when it comes to range etiquette. I'll tell you one of the most important ones. This is a saying that I first heard from Jerry Mitchell. I'm not sure whether he's the originator of it or not, but shooting is optional, resetting is not. When you come to a match to shoot, the targets don't get up and reset themselves, all right? The range officer is not going to go down and reset the whole stage for you and for everybody else every time. It's not going to happen. They're not there for that. They're there to make sure that you safely navigate the course of fire as well as everybody else. All right, so your job when you're not actively shooting, or when you're not the on-deck shooter, meaning you're the next shooter, is to help reset. Is to go up and tape targets. Is to go up and pick still up and reset the still targets. That is your job. Everybody has to do it. Failure to do so can get you asked to leave the match. It can get you penalty points. It can get you disqualified from the match if you are a repeat offender. Not to mention it gives you a bad reputation and makes it where nobody wants to shoot with you. So range etiquette, always reset when you're not shooting. Another thing, doesn't so much apply at monthly matches, but at a major match. When you're in a major match where people have paid several $100s to go and attend, travel to, ammo, lodging, everything like that, people get there the day before and they walk the stages to see how they're going to shoot it. They'll walk through left to right, front, back, whatever the case may be. They're going to see how they're going to shoot the stage and try and lock their stage plan into their head for their upcoming match. Now, when you're on the stage and you're stage planning and other people around you stage planning, don't be that guy or that girl or that group of people that sit dead in the middle of the stage or dead in front of the targets or one of the positions where nobody else can get to it and have a 5 to 10 minute conversation about how you're going to shoot the stage. What they see versus what you see. Walk the stage, see what you need to see, and if you want to talk to people, step back, let other people continue to walk the stages unhindered, talk about it, figure it out, and then rewalk it. And if you have to move to the position to point something out to them, move to the position, point it out to them, and then step back again. All right, so range etiquette. Always be courteous of other shooters, right? It's being a good squad mate, it's being a good competitor. It's just range etiquette. What to do first. So you're wanting to get started in 3-gun. What should you do first? All right, here's what I did. And I think this is something that I encourage everybody to do. Go to a match. Whether it's getting on social media, whether it's with a friend, finding somebody to link up with to meet at the match, finding out where the matches are, show up. Even if you're not shooting, don't intend to shoot. Show up and watch. Talk to people. Ask questions. Look at the gear. Don't go out and just spend a bunch of money and buy a whole bunch of things because you decided you want to shoot 3-gun. I applaud the effort. However, you're going to usually end up with a bunch of stuff that you end up replacing and spending more money on later. So instead, go to a match, ask questions. People are incredibly helpful. I don't think you will ever go to any 3-gun match, ask somebody a question about their gear, ask to check it out, ask to look at it, and they're going to tell you no, or they're going to look at you cross-eyed and funny. They're going to be more than willing to help. They're going to, more than likely, they're going to offer to let you shoot their gun, to play with the gear, whatever the case may be. People in 3-gun are incredibly helpful. I've got a friend, Christy Connor Tate, and she has people, when they come to some of the local matches that she shoots, there have been guys that have literally showed up and said, hey, I'm just wanting to check it out. And she's like, oh no, you're shooting. And he's like, I didn't bring any stuff with me. And this one guy, she was like, you're shooting. I've got extra guns, I've got extra ammo, I'm gonna pay for your match fee, and you're gonna shoot. So the guy did it. The guy learned a lot, learned about some of the equipment, talked with her stuff, other people's stuff, and ended up calling and buying a whole bunch of the gear that he needed. Now, he didn't buy everything at one time. He bought what he could afford, then he moved on, and the next month, a couple months later, he bought some more stuff while he figured out exactly what he wanted and what he needed. I'd encourage you to do the same thing. Get out there, check out everything first, and then start planning your match. Then start buying your gear. Make sure you get what you need, what you want the first time, instead of having to spend that money repeatedly. It's extra money you can put towards shooting, towards traveling, towards going to other matches, towards training. Monthly matches versus major matches. So the monthly match is going to be a single day match, usually $25 to $40, $45. You're going to get there and shoot usually 8 to 9 hours. Depending on where you go, sometimes it may be shorter, sometimes it may even be a little bit longer if you're lucky. Usually 75 to 100, 105, 10 rounds per gun for a monthly match. But you go, you shoot for the day, and then you leave. You usually don't drive 3, 4, 5 hours to shoot a monthly match. You're usually driving an hour, hour and a half, somewhere that's close to you, kind of at max. There are a few exceptions. A major match, they're going to be spread out a lot more. Unless you're lucky, and there's a big venue like the Clinton House hosting a bunch of major 3-gun matches like the American Defense Manufacturing Tar Heel Challenge, the Microtech Pro-Am, Blue Ridge, USPSA Multi-Gun Nationals. All those are at the Clinton House in Clinton, South Carolina in 2022. So unless you're lucky like that, you're going to do a little bit of traveling to get to a major match. Major match is going to be a little bit more money. It's going to range anywhere from, generally speaking, about $275 up to about $365. All right, but your round count is going to jump from 75 to 100 rounds per gun to 175 to 225 rounds per gun. All right, stages are a lot bigger. The distance is a lot longer that you'll shoot on rifle. The complexity of the stages are more complex. You've got more options. It's definitely a more involved thing, and major matches, usually the majority of them, have a prize table and awards ceremony at the end. So that's kind of the difference between the monthly and major matches. Obviously, don't make your first match a major match. Get in, check out some of the monthly matches, learn a bit, and kind of get your feet underneath you before you step into a major match. PRACTICESCORE. So PRACTICESCORE is how we register for the matches. All right. I'm going to go into that more in the week 2. We're going to show you kind of how to find matches in PRACTICESCORE, how to register for matches in PRACTICESCORE. So we're going to go through all that a little bit more. But if you want to get familiar with it, go ahead and go to PRACTICESCORE.com. If you're on your phone, you can download the PRACTICESCORE competitor app. PRACTICESCORE competitor app onto your phone. It's what we use, a lot of us, to check our scores, because at the end of the day, you can go through and go, man, I really sucked on that stage. I had 64 seconds in penalties, and if I didn't do that and I didn't do that, I would have finished here. And, you know, it can just be a good little fun little thing to kind of see what you should have done if you were better than as good as you thought you were. All right, but we'll go through PRACTICESCORE a little bit next week. Social media groups, so Facebook, Instagram, things of that nature. It's always easy to connect with other shooters. We've got a bunch of groups on Facebook: 3-Gun Talk, 3-Gun Gear, Information Gear. I can't remember the names of all of them right now, but if you PM me, DM me, send me a message, whatever, I'll be sure to help get you linked up to those groups. Well, those groups have a lot of information in them. There's some pinned schedule of a lot of the major matches on there, so that it makes it easier to find a lot of the major matches in 3-Gun across the country. So you have that. There's a lot of things, you know, a lot of questions have been answered or asked and answered, but they go back so far in the timeline that unless you've got hours and hours to scroll down, you're going to ask the question that somebody else has already asked. One of the most popular ones is which shotgun should I get? Is this a good shotgun? So we're going to go through a lot of that through the course of this 12-week Intro to 3-Gun video series. So make sure you stay tuned to each week. And if you miss it for a week, the nice thing is it's going to be on social media. It's going to be on YouTube. You can go back and watch it. If you saw it and can't remember what you got, you can go back and watch it. So just stay tuned. Make sure you follow the YouTube video channel. Make sure you check out www.stagezero-shooting.com. All right, that's STAGEZERO shooting.com. We're going to have a lot of the gear that we talked to you about here is available on StageZeroShooting.com, to include American Defense Manufacturing rifles and scope mounts. We have some rifles coming in from American Defense that we're going to go into more depth with and really kind of show you what the American Defense line of rifles look like. Specifically the competition rifle, their UIC ADM rifle line are extremely popular, and you'll be hard pressed to find another rifle from a manufacturer that is competition ready as the American Defense competition lineup of AR-15s is. So be sure to stay tuned and find out more about those. Find out more about how to find that first match, how to get involved, how to sign up, and how to register for it. And then a lot of the upgrades to your rifle, shotgun, pistol, differences in the divisions, how the scoring works, how to find the rules, what some of the rules are, some of the more common rules, some of the things that'll get you a little bit more like match DQ, things like that. We're going to go over some of that over the next 12 weeks, as well as, like I said before, live fire and dry fire drills that you can do out on the range or in your house, as well as gear that you know you need and some that you may not. All right, so we appreciate you stopping by and checking out the American Defense Manufacturing Introduction to 3-Gun video series, and look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you and have a blessed day, and a Merry Christmas.